Welcome back to our Cozy English Corner again. I'm Anastasia, and today we've got something lighthearted and full of life.
Animals, right? I saw the notes on your desk. You wrote cats equals mystery, dogs equals loyalty.
And George equals coffee addict, I suppose.
Guilty as charged. But yes, animals. I love that topic.
Same here. They make the world softer. And it's perfect for our English learners because there are so many daily words and feelings connected to animals.
Exactly. Pets, wildlife, nature, every culture has stories about them.
Before we jump in, quick reminder, if you enjoy natural English conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us keep creating for you.
Nice and smooth. All right, so tell me, did you grow up with pets?
Oh, yes. When I was 5, my parents brought home a tiny gray kitten. We called her Mimi. She was so small, she could fit in my hands. And she had this habit of sleeping in my school bag.
That's adorable. Did your teachers ever find her there?
Once, I opened my bag and she jumped out in class. Everyone screamed. Well, the teacher didn't laugh much, but I still remember it as a happy day.
Pets always create memories. When I was a kid, we had a dog named Rocky, half shepherd, half something else. He used to follow me to school and wait by the gate every day.
That's the definition of loyalty. Man's best friend, as they say.
Exactly. You know, that phrase exists in so many languages. It shows how deeply dogs live in our hearts.
I think dogs teach us what love without conditions feels like.
That's true. No judgment, no expectations, just joy when you come home.
And cats, they teach you patience, or maybe they teach you humility.
Yes, cats don't have owners, they have staff.
Exactly. When I call Mimi, she pretends not to hear me. But if I open the fridge, she appears out of nowhere.
They're mystical creatures, independent but somehow always near when you need comfort.
I think that's why people love having pets. They make the house feel alive.
Yeah, a home without a pet can feel quiet, too quiet.
You know, for many people, pets are like family. Some even say, I have fur children.
That's cute and true in many ways. You feed them, talk to them, worry when they're sick. It's a real bond.
And they never judge your English accent.
That might be the best thing about pets.
So, tell me, what do you think we learn from animals?
Good question. I guess we learn presence. Animals live in the moment. They don't worry about emails or next week.
Yes, my cat doesn't care about Monday. She just stretches in the sun and breathes.
It's like a small lesson in mindfulness. Take it easy, right?
Exactly. Animals remind us to slow down.
And they don't pretend. If a dog's happy, you see it. If it's tired, it lies down. Simple as that.
Humans could learn from that too.
Maybe we overcomplicate life because we can talk too much,
And because we invented deadlines.
right? Dogs have no deadlines. They just have walks.
You know, that's one reason why animal assisted therapy works. Just touching an animal lowers stress and blood pressure.
I've read that. There's a reason they bring dogs into hospitals or schools. They create calm.
Yeah, once I visited a shelter where kids read to dogs. It was the sweetest thing ever.
How does that work?
Well, shy kids who are afraid to read in class sit with the dog. They read aloud because the dog doesn't laugh or interrupt. It builds confidence.
That's brilliant. Practice makes perfect, even for reading to dogs.
Exactly. And the dogs seem to enjoy it too. Some even fall asleep.
They're probably thinking, this story again?
Maybe, but I find it beautiful. Animals help people grow without using words.
That's a nice way to put it. Maybe because they communicate through energy, not language.
Right. They sense moods. Have you noticed how dogs come closer when you're sad?
Yes, they can smell stress hormones. Science actually proved that.
Wow. So they're not just loyal, they're emotional detectives.
Exactly. And cats, too, just show it in their own way.
You know, I once had a bird, a tiny parrot named Blue. He used to sing when I played piano. It felt like a duet.
That's adorable. Dude, he's singing tune?
Not really, but he tried. He'd jump on the keys and peck the high notes.
So you had your own DJ.
Exactly. When he passed away, I was heartbroken. It taught me how deeply we can love animals.
That's a real lesson. You never know what you have until it's gone.
True. But I also learned to be grateful for the time we had.
That's maturity, turning sadness into gratitude.
You know, there's something about grieving a pet that's different from losing a person. People sometimes don't understand it.
Yes, but it's still real because love was real.
Exactly. And maybe that's why we keep adopting again, because we need that connection.
I adopted a rescue dog once. Her name was Luna. She'd been hurt before, so she was scared of men. It took months before she trusted me.
That must have been hard.
It was. But the day she finally rested her head on my lap, I cried. It was like a silent thank you.
That gave me chills. Animals don't forget kindness.
No, they don't. They also teach forgiveness. She had every reason to be afraid, but she learned to trust again.
That's incredible. You know, maybe every animal we meet shows a mirror of ourselves.
What do you mean?
Well, cats show independence, dogs show loyalty, birds, freedom. Each one reflects something we either have or need.
I love that idea. So, what does a goldfish reflect?
Maybe patience or short memory?
Both very human traits.
Exactly. See? We can learn from every creature.
You know, this makes me think. People sometimes say they prefer animals to humans. Do you get that?
Hmm. I understand the feeling, but I think it's because animals make us feel safe. No games, no lies, just presence.
True. They're honest about their needs food, warmth, attention, simple truths.
Exactly. Maybe we miss that simplicity in our daily life.
Yeah, sometimes we forget that we're animals too, just ones who built cities.
That's the best line of the day.
Thank you. But it's true. We still need nature, sunlight, fresh air, like any creature.
And maybe that's why so many people feel better around animals. They bring us back to our natural selves.
Exactly. It's like a reset button.
Back to nature. I like that expression.
Yes, back to nature. We should all press that button sometimes.
You know, talking about this makes me want to adopt another pet.
Slow down, Anastasia. Mimi might not appreciate new competition.
True. She's already the queen of the apartment. True. She's already the queen of the apartment.
Cats and their empires.
Yes, she even has her own chair.
That's how you know who's in charge.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about pets, our furry friends, but the animal world is much bigger than our homes. I want to explore wildlife next.
Great idea. Animals in the wild teach us something completely different. Survival, instinct, freedom.
Yes. And I think humans often romanticize that freedom without realizing how hard it is.
True. Living in nature is not easy, but it's pure. No noise, no advertising, no deadlines,
Just life and instinct.
and rules we don't control. I went on a safari once in Kenya. It changed how I see everything.
Oh, wow. Tell me.
Imagine sunrise over the savannah. The air's still cool, the sky orange, and then you see elephants walking in a line, quietly, like a family. They move slowly, but with purpose.
That sounds magical.
It was. You feel so small in front of such beauty.
I bet. Did you see lions too?
Yes, from a distance. They were resting under a tree. Everyone was quiet, even the wind. You could feel respect.
That's the thing. Wild animals demand respect. We're visitors in their home.
Exactly. I wish more people understood that.
Me too. Sometimes we forget we're not the center of the planet.
That's why these experiences matter. They remind us to protect, not control.
Beautifully said.
And that trip made me think about how connected all life is. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, share the same sun.
That's powerful. And somehow animals remind us of that connection more than any textbook ever could.
Exactly. When you look into an elephant's eyes, it's not just an animal, it's wisdom looking back at you.
I've seen that too. In horses, in whales. Their calmness says something ancient.
The circle of life, that's what it is. Everything feeds into everything else.
Yes, and every creature has a purpose, even the tiny ones we ignore. Bees, worms, ants.
Bees especially. Without them, no pollination, no fruits, no flowers.
I read once that a bee's wings beat about 200 times per second. Imagine that. So much effort for such a small life.
That's pure dedication, and they work for the group, not for themselves.
Humans could learn from that teamwork. Busy as a bee, right?
Yes, that's a great expression. Busy as a bee. It means hardworking and active.
Exactly. I love how language often borrows from animals.
Oh, yes, like the elephant in the room.
The big, obvious problem no one wants to talk about.
Exactly. Or let the cat out of the bag. Reveal a secret.
And a dark horse, someone who surprises everyone.
You're on a roll today.
I could go on forever, but that's the beauty of it. Animals live in our speech because they've always lived beside us.
It shows how deep that bond goes.
You know, I once visited a dolphin sanctuary. It wasn't a show, it was a rescue center. The staff cared for injured dolphins before returning them to the sea.
That must have been emotional.
It was. I stood near the pool and one dolphin swam right up to me. He looked straight into my eyes. It felt like he could see my thoughts.
I've heard dolphins do that. They mirror your emotions.
I believe it. For a moment, I felt peace. No words, no barriers, just connection.
Silence speaks volumes.
That's a beautiful one. Yes, silence does speak.
Nature speaks through silence all the time.
True. And the more time I spend outdoors, the more I understand that animals communicate constantly. We just don't always listen.
Yes. Every sound, a bird call, a bark, a rustle, means something. It's like their language of survival.
You know, when I was little, I used to sit on the balcony and watch pigeons. I'd make up stories about their lives.
That's adorable. What kind of stories?
Like, this one's going to propose to his pigeon girlfriend. Or, that one's upset because someone stole his bread.
So you were basically writing pigeon soap operas.
Pretty much. But it helped me pay attention. Animals teach observation.
That's true. Patience, too. Wildlife photographers often wait hours for one perfect shot.
Imagine sitting quietly in the forest for half a day, just listening.
That's meditation.
Exactly. Maybe that's why people feel calm around animals. They slow down our rhythm.
Patience is a virtue, as they say.
I like that. Animals seem to live by that role naturally.
Speaking of patience, remember when we talked about stress last time? I read that just watching fish swim can lower your blood pressure.
Oh, I believe it. That's why aquariums are so relaxing. My friend has one at home. She calls it her underwater TV.
That's perfect.
And the funny part is, fish have personalities too. Some are shy, some curious, some even a bit bossy.
So it's like a tiny office underwater.
Exactly.
You know, humans love naming animals because it creates emotional connection. We give them identities.
Yes, I think naming is our way of saying you matter.
That's deep and true. When I visited a farm once, the farmer introduced every cow by name. This is Daisy, this is Clover. You could see he cared.
That's lovely. And it changes how we treat them when we see them as individuals, not objects.
That's the ethical side of it. We can't talk about animals without touching on responsibility.
Definitely. Being human means having power, but also care. Treat others as you want to be treated.
Perfect expression. It applies to animals too.
Exactly. Even small acts, giving water to a stray dog or leaving food for birds, they matter.
True. Every kindness adds up.
I remember once in winter, I saw a little cat sitting outside a cafe door. It was freezing. I went in and asked the waiter if the cat could come inside. He said no, so I bought a cup of warm milk and left it outside for her. The next morning, she was still there, waiting for me.
That's beautiful.
From then on, she became my cafe cat. I visited her every morning for 2 months.
That's the kind of story that restores faith in people.
I think animals bring out our better side.
They do. They remind us that kindness doesn't need translation.
That's true.
You know, some cultures even worship animals.
Yes, in India, cows are sacred. In ancient Egypt, cats were symbols of grace and protection.
And in many Native American traditions, animals are spiritual guides. The wolf for courage, the eagle for vision.
That's fascinating. I think it shows respect. When people saw animals not as less, but as different.
Exactly. Modern life sometimes forgets that balance.
Maybe we need to bring it back, that sense of harmony.
Yes, not as some fantasy, but as a daily habit. Choosing products that don't harm animals, respecting ecosystems, living with awareness.
Think globally, act locally.
Perfect. That's another expression. Powerful and simple.
You know, George, I feel we humans often underestimate how emotionally intelligent animals are.
I agree. There's research showing elephants mourn their dead, crows remember human faces, dolphins help others in trouble.
Yes, and dogs can detect cancer or alert when someone's about to have a seizure. It's amazing.
They're more connected to nature's signals than we are.
Maybe we lost some of that when we built walls in cities.
Probably. But we can still listen if we try.
That's why I love hiking. When I walk through forests, I feel part of the world again.
Me too. I once spent a week in a cabin surrounded by deer and birds. No internet, no noise, just wind and animals. I'd wake up to bird song every morning.
That sounds like heaven.
It was. I came back a different person. Calmer, lighter.
Disconnect to reconnect.
That's brilliant. Another good one.
Maybe we should make a list of animal-inspired life lessons.
Good idea. Let's see. Loyalty from dogs, independence from cats, teamwork from bees, patience from turtles,
Curiosity from dolphins, strength from elephants, lightness from birds.
and maybe forgiveness from humans, because we still have to earn our place here.
Beautifully said.
You know, I sometimes think the way people treat animals says a lot about who they are.
Absolutely. It shows empathy, or the lack of it.
Yes, and empathy is what connects all forms of life.
Put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Or pause.
Nice one.
But it's true. When we see the world through their eyes, we change how we act.
That's why education is key. Teaching kids to care for animals means teaching them to care for life.
Exactly. Empathy is a skill, and animals are the best teachers.
You know, George, there's something very pure about that. Animals never pretend.
Yes, they love honestly. They live simply.
Maybe that's why they heal us.
Maybe that's why we need them more than they need us.
After all, they could live without us. But could we live without them?
That's a question worth thinking about.
If you're listening now, tell us, what animal has touched your life the most? Was it a pet, or a wild encounter, or maybe a story that inspired you? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Yes, share your stories. They always make these conversations even more special.
Exactly.
You know, we've used a lot of animal expressions today. Man's best friend, take it easy, busy as a bee, think globally, act locally. It's amazing how much language reflects nature.
And how much nature reflects language. It's like we've been talking to animals for thousands of years without realizing it.
Maybe the next step is learning to listen better.
I like that.
So, final question. If you could be any animal for a day, which one would you choose?
Oh, that's fun. Mm, I think I'd be a dolphin. They seem joyful, social, always swimming in the sun.
That fits you. Bright and curious.
Thanks. What about you?
I'd be an owl, watching quietly, learning, avoiding noise.
I like that. That also fits you perfectly.
Wise choice, right?
Pun intended.
Always.
You know, if I think about it, that's what I love most about animals. They remind us who we are, but also who we could be.
That's a wonderful closing thought.
Thank you. And before we say goodbye, if you liked this episode, subscribe, leave a like, and share it. It really helps our little studio grow.
And wherever you are, have a wonderful day.
Stay kind, stay curious, and maybe go hug your pet.
Or at least say hi to the birds outside. See you next time, friends.
Soft laughter. Music fades out.